Senator, the Honourable Miriam Blanchard, Minister for Public Works and Ports. Honourable Colin McIntyre, Minister for Planning, Economic Development and Investment and Parliamentary Representative for the Roseau Valley constituency. Honourable Kelva Daru, Minister for Information Science, Telecommunications and Technology and Parliamentary Representative for the St. Joseph constituency. Chief Technical Officer in the Ministry of Public Works, Mr. Johnson. Deputy Chief Technical Officer, Mr. Lancelot. Mr. Francis Emmanuel, Representative for Offshore, Civil and Marine. Representative of CEP, Consulting Engineer Partnership. Hopefully they will be the supervisors on both projects. Members of the media, good afternoon. Thank you for gracing us with your presence to witness the signing of contracts. The first contract is for the rehabilitation and reconstruction of the highway and river defense west of Hillsborough Bridge. That project will positively impact the lives of all Dominicans, particularly residents of Layou, St. Joseph, and Hillsborough. Bearing this in mind, I invite Honourable Kelva Daru, Parliamentary Representative for the St. Joseph constituency and Minister for Information, Science, Telecommunications and Technology to say a few words.
Thank you very much, PS. Let me recognize the presence of Honourable Blanchard, Minister of Public Works and Ports, my colleague, Honourable McIntyre, and of course the staff of the Ministry of Public Works and Ports, and to you, the media. I'm very pleased to be here this afternoon at this contract signing ceremony, particularly for the works associated on the E.O. Libre Highway to the west of the Hillsborough Bridge in Layou. This area was impacted significantly during the passage of Tropical Storm Erika, when a significant portion of that highway was compromised. And I recall on that morning being on site myself. When I saw the devastation that took place there, I could only shake my head because I had never seen the Layou River done so much damage since after the collapse of the Marty Dam. Very importantly, this is a very significant infrastructural work that's going to be undertaken. And I really want to thank the Minister of Public Works and also the Prime Minister for ensuring that the necessary funds have been made available today for the commencement of that project. This major highway serves not just the residents of the St. Joseph constituency, but it also connects the north of the island to the south of the island. And the residents of Layou in particular, who are closest to that area, they have been asking me as a Member of Parliament how soon work will commence on that area to restore the works. And I'm very pleased this afternoon that the actual contract signing is taking place today for the commencement of work. We were able to do a bypass there temporarily, and again, with the assistance of the Ministry of Public Works, we were able to do some additional works on the bypass to sustain it during that period of time. But this government is about building back better, and I'm sure that the designs for that particular portion of road will in fact be much better than what was previously designed, because we can well imagine the force that the Layou River has once it has full capacity. So I'm very pleased this afternoon to be part of this ceremony. Very brief but very important ceremony, and I'm hoping that the residents of Layou and by extension the St. Joseph constituency will be very appreciative of the works that will begin here shortly. Of course, with these works, we expect to have some inconveniences, and I want to continue to encourage the commuters and also the residents of the area to exhibit some level of patience and tolerance during the construction phase and rehabilitation of that section of the road. And I'm also very pleased because it will, in fact, complement the works which have already begun in the Layou Valley area, that is to say, with the York Valley Bridge, and soon to commence the additional works on the eastern side of the Hillsborough Bridge, from the Hillsborough Bridge to go back up to the York Valley Bridge. So once again, I'm very pleased and I'm very happy to be here and to be part of the signing ceremony, and to really thank my constituents, particularly the residents of Layou, for their patience and tolerance. And hopefully we can see a much better product on completion of this product. So once again, thank you very much. And I want to say a special good afternoon to my constituents. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable Daru. The second project is for rehabilitation and reconstruction of a section of road at Loda, known as Providence. And we thank in advance, well, not really in advance, but we thank the people of Loda and the Valley for their patience. This long-awaited project, I know Dr. McIntyre, Honourable Dr. McIntyre, will speak to it, but I know the people of the Valley have been waiting for this particular section of road to be reconstructed. With this in mind, I invite the parliamentary representative for the Roseau Valley to say a few words.
Thank you, PS, and good afternoon to all. Let me first recognize the presence of the Minister of Public Works and Ports, Honourable Miriam Blanchard, a very good friend of mine. And of course, Mr. Kelvin Daru, Honourable Daru, who called me his colleague. Well, we all three colleagues here, but Honourable Daru as well too. When we just came from upstairs, that's a pretty serious meeting. And of course, to also recognize the presence of the high-level team from the Ministry of Public Works. Of course, we spoke about the PS already, the CTO, and Mr. Lancelot, and everyone present here, the contractor, CP, the media, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I must say it's a pleasure to be here this afternoon to be part of this signing ceremony. As we know, the Roseau Valley, 80% of the tourists who come to Dominica, they must visit the Roseau Valley. So this area is extremely important to us, both as government and as a country as well too. We have suffered quite a bit from this little area here, and I must say we have been blessed in Loda in particular. And why I say we have been blessed, this area is so narrow and has been compromised so severely that if there were any major earth movement or earth tremor, the whole of Loda would be cut off. So we've been blessed. Good Father has put his eyes over us. We have survived. And I'm very happy to be here today now, where we actually have a signing ceremony to really put the cream on the cake or the cream on the blessings, where we can get up to the Providence area. As you know, Providence, Loda/Providence, as a junction of the road going into Midland Falls, this major edge failure there, which is quite an involvement, to be honest with you. It's not a little undertaking. And I think the science involved in it, the technology by our engineers and the consultants, I think they've arrived at something in terms of a design that we can move with right now. And I'm really happy about it, looking forward to it. As a matter of fact, I visited the area a few weeks ago with the engineer, and we were discussing areas where we are looking at and where we could, for earth movement, how we're going to dump the earth and where we're going to store the earth. Of course, transportation is quite costly. So we have looked at certain things already in line for that. And this will only lend to the improvement of the road network in the Roseau Valley. But I must confess that with my little limited knowledge of geology, I've studied the northern aspect of that edge failure. And this has been happening over a long period of time. And there's been failure on that side as well, too, which is the left side of the road. But we have seen this major edge failure on the right side, which we are about to address. And I'm sure there's something in place for addressing the left aspect of it, because this is the only, I heard Honourable Daru speak about, the bypasses that have been done at Layo. But in this area, there's no bypass. This is the road, and we have to fix it. So I'm very happy to be here today with my colleague minister, the Minister of Public Works and Ports, Honourable Daru, the PS, and everyone here, our technical staff, CP, the contractors, the media, to really form part of this signing ceremony and to witness a great project, which, if not done, will definitely cut off Loda. So I'm happy for this project. I thank you very much.
The Ministry of Public Works and Ports, as you've seen, we've been very busy trying to implement several projects. And for us, every time we sign a new contract, it's an accomplishment. And so I invite Senator the Honourable Miriam Blanchard, Minister for Public Works and Ports, to address you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before I begin, I want to recognize in my presence the parliamentary representative for the Roseau Valley constituency, Dr. the Honourable Colin McIntyre, the parliamentary representative for the St. Joseph constituency, my other colleague, Honourable Kelvin Daru, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Public Works and Ports, Ms. Denise Edwards, Mr. Kendall Johnson, Chief Technical Officer in the Ministry of Public Works and Ports, Deputy Chief Technical Officer, Mr. Emil Lancelot, other staff of the Ministry of Public Works and Ports, Mr. Francis Emmanuel, representative of Offshore Civil and Marine Inc., and other representatives of the company. With us also a representative from the consulting firm, CEP, the media. Good afternoon. Let me first extend a warm welcome to each of you to yet another signing ceremony of the government of Dominica, your hard-working and productive Labour Party government. Ladies and gentlemen, as I have said in the past, this Labour administration is not daunted by the task of rebuilding Dominica following weather events. We remain focused on the task at hand, the development of the island's infrastructure to create an enabling environment for further growth in the productive sectors of the economy. And today, we see further proof of this. Indeed, we are all here to be part of a signing ceremony for two major projects which form part of the Ministry of Public Works and Ports' portfolio. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Public Works and Ports will soon sign, on behalf of the Government of Dominica, two contracts for major works in Loda and Layu, both projects being necessary following the devastation to infrastructure following tropical storms Ophelia and Erica, respectively. The total sums of the two contracts that will be signed today is 7.5 million EC dollars. Both projects will be funded by a loan from the Caribbean Development Bank. The first contract is for the rehabilitation and reconstruction of a section of road in Providence, in Loda. That road was first impacted by torrential rainfall associated with the passage of Tropical Storm Ophelia in September of 2011, and further affected by subsequent weather events, including Tropical Storm Erica. We are extremely delighted that the government will sign the contract today to undertake these long-awaited works. The project is expected to reduce risks associated with landslide hazards in the Roseau Valley, thereby making the site and surrounding communities less vulnerable to future adverse weather-related events. The project will comprise slope stabilization and realignment of 155 meters of road to include excavation of the cliff for the new road alignment, terracing and erosion control, construction of approximately 40 meters long reinforced concrete wall, reinstatement of road pavement, and rigid concrete surface course with associated drainage and other miscellaneous works. On March 3, 2017, 4 contractors responded to a notice of invitation to bid, which was published locally, regionally, and internationally. However, only 2 bids were received by the deadline of April 5, 2017. Following the assessments of those bids by the Ministry of Public Works and Ports and officials from the Caribbean Development Bank, Offshore Civil and Marine Inc. was awarded the contract in the sum of $1,617,875.58. Work is expected to last 110 days. Ladies and gentlemen, the rehabilitation works, which will soon begin, forms part of this government's program to upgrade the road network in the Roseau Valley. As you heard at a recent Labour Party town hall meeting in Wharton Waven, designs for the rehabilitation of a section of road from the Copthall Bridge to the Mount Prosper Junction is being finalized by staff in the Ministry of Public Works and Ports, while the preparation of designs for the remainder of that road to Wharton Waven to the section not yet rehabilitated will commence thereafter. In addition, the ministry is working actively to engage consultants to prepare designs for new bridge structures and other roads in the Roseau Valley area. We remain committed to the people of the Roseau Valley and understand the importance of the rehabilitation of the road network to the livelihood of residents. The second contract will facilitate the rehabilitation of the highway and river defense west of the Hillsborough Bridge, located at the north bank of the Layou River. That area was impacted, as we heard from the parliamentary representative, by the raging Layou River during the passage of Tropical Storm Erica. The government of Dominica, on February 6, 2017, advertised invitations to bid, again via local, regional, and international media, to undertake those construction works. The works will include removal of damaged steel sheet piles and associated works, the installation of new sheet piles, construction of approximately 142 meters long reinforced concrete wall, reinstatement of road pavement and drainage structures. Bids were received from 6 contractors. Following an evaluation by the staff of the Ministry of Public Works and Ports and the Caribbean Development Bank, a recommendation was submitted for the award of contract, again to Offshore Civil and Marine, Inc., for the sum of $5,786,179. For the sum of $5,786,779.89. The expected duration of that project is 189 days. At this point, I wish to extend congratulations to the contractor who has been awarded both contracts following the bidding processes based on the procurement rules of the Caribbean Development Bank. Much is expected of you, contractor, as you undertake those works. But I have no doubt, based on the advice of my staff, that you will in fact meet our expectations and complete both projects within the time frame of the contract to the design specifications agreed to. Ladies and gentlemen, the award of these contracts today further highlights the commitment of this government to the residents of both communities and to all Dominicans who use these roadways. Be assured that your safety and well-being is of paramount importance to your government. Today, on behalf of the government, I give you the commitment that we will continue to forge ahead with the rehabilitation of the physical infrastructure for a better Dominica for all of us. To the Permanent Secretary and staff of the Ministry of Public Works and Ports, I say a big thank you for all of your efforts that have led to today's ceremony. Thank you for your continued commitment to the development of our beautiful country, Dominica. I want to take this opportunity to thank the Caribbean Development Bank for partnering with us to undertake these very critical projects. Let me assure the residents and road users, particularly those in the Layou area, that this is just the first step aimed at returning the Hillsborough area to a state of normalcy. Designs for the rehabilitation of the area east of the Hillsborough Bridge is nearing completion. Designs should be completed by the end of the month, and it is our intention to begin the procurement process soon thereafter. I wish to thank the general public, especially the residents of the communities of Loda, Layou, and surrounding communities for their patience over the years, and ask for your continued understanding as we undertake these works. We expect that both projects will be completed within the agreed time, weather permitting. I thank you all for your presence and do have a lovely evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. And with this, we end the ceremony. Thank you for coming.
Signing.
The ceremony part.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
the mic to you so you can see it. Okay. All right. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Yes. All right.